Okay, so I know probably that I'm going to pull some more cards, but so far this is what we've got. I tried to make a video on TikTok and I ended up, after twice doing the same thing, like basically erase the sound, I had to like go back and start over. Anyway, so eventually just drafted it before I could do it for a third time. But then I realized there's something about the information in that video that wasn't ready to come out. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to use the same deck and I'm just going to go ahead and pull some cards and see what. But I'm also going to switch platforms. So we got a couple of the same cards. I don't know. I might upload that video later. But Hot Mess was there, and so was Brick Wall. So I think that's interesting. And then, like the other video, basically marriage or some kind of commitment to something was hinted. And new karmic cycles. Okay, so I feel like at this point, I feel like I'm stalling. So I feel like I'm stalling. What are you stalling about? Okay, so right off the bat is the hot mess card. Disorderly habits, untidy mind, chaotic, messy situation, feeling miserable and unhappy, and being irresponsible. So there's something, a core mess, something out of order, something that needs tidied, that needs cleaned up. Crossing that is local travel, mini local travel, getting out more, a romantic weekend getaway, and having to drive more. But that's crossing that. It feels like the energy stepping into this is almost like a secretive energy because of the way the other message didn't want to come out, for whatever reason. So, but again, it also feels like this is because it's meant for a more specific collective, like a certain set of people. Getting out of your own way is what I'm hearing. Again, I have this feeling like I'm stalling and I don't really know why. So I think that's interesting because I'm picking up on however this energy is coming through. Moving on, the foundation is the devil. Addiction problems, excess, obsession, dependency, materialism, bad financial habits, and shadow self. So not dealing with whatever this hot mess is. Covering it up with not putting yourself out there or not being accessible towards certain people or situations or however that fits. Something is keeping you, some kind of dependency is keeping you stuck. Passing influences contracts, important legal matters, agreement between two parties, making something official, and application and signatures. So clearly this is like some kind of karmic, like whatever, cycle, pattern, contract. It's, I keep hearing again, getting out of your own way. Not being bound by outdated or void contracts, not being bound by voided contracts. What's on your mind is burnout, having too many irons in the fire, not taking care of yourself, lack of control in all work and no life. So just so burnout with the current 9 to 5 or your work, just maybe even like burnout on life itself, just needing to take a step back or take a mental vacation. Near future is trial and error, experimenting with your life, inexperienced in a job or situation, willingness to try new things, and exploring all possibilities. So, exploring new opportunities, definitely. It could be changing jobs or changing levels in your job, experimenting with something, getting out of your comfort zone, doing something different, trying something new. The way you see the situation is the moon. Listen to your intuition, intense emotions, deceptions, hidden truth, and proceed with caution. And that other video, it did come out right at the beginning about the evil eye having protection, but also right before that was about snakes being revealed. So there's a shakeup in the energy. People are experiencing loss. They're also experiencing like technological issues, communication issues, timing issues, like glitches and things like that. Like people are experiencing things like that. You're experiencing things like that. But there's also something about the way you're flowing through those experiences. I mean, it shows that you've had so much growth. So it's interesting, whatever this is, that this is the thing that's like keeping you tethered to something. Because like you've already done so much literal work on yourself. But this is about listening to your intuition, trusting it, and seeing the truth of people in different situations. Other people see brick wall, insurmountable obstacle blocked for your highest good, not able to make progress in time to do things different. And that other video, part of it, I was going to subtitle it like some obstacles are protection. And this feels like you have good boundaries and you've done very well to build those, make them insurmountable for others. I also think it's about learning which things, like being more selective about what things you're blocking out, because there also is this energy of allowing other things in. The emotions of the situation is deep thinking twice on a decision, preoccupied with one's thoughts, self-reflection, being analytical and logical. That's interesting for an emotional position. So it very much feels like intellectualizing your emotions. Maybe you're the kind of person that has to think through them a lot, like from all perspectives before you can kind of figure out how you feel about it. Maybe it takes you a week to figure out how you feel about things. Like, just interesting the way they're connected. Getting out of your own way, getting out of your own head, getting out of your own, I almost even want to say heart. Like thinking so much on something, but it feels like if you're thinking that, is the perspective on an emotion shifting, the way you feel about something, the attachment to something, reflecting something back? Again, it's connected to this hot mess, this chaos, this untidiness, facing this mess about you. Seriously, sometimes people are so beautiful right in the middle of their mess. They don't even realize how beautiful they are. Not holding yourself back in some way. Getting out of town. The final outcome is celebration, parties, social events, happy outcome, group events, socializing, and going out more. So, I mean, you're experimenting, trial and erroring it, and way deep into intellectualizing your emotions. categorizing them, putting them where they belong. But also this element of getting out of your comfort zone, learning to have fun again. Learning to have fun again. That's a big one. Learning how to play again. And very much learning how to detach from things that have basically, yeah, they've protected you, but they've also held you still. They've kept you stuck in some sense. So detaching or breaking away from that. Overall energy is man. A male friend enters your life, a male romantic interest, a man will assist you, and a man plays a key role. So interesting, because the last video basically hinted at marriage a couple of times in the video. So there very well may be a masculine energy that enters the picture. And what capacity? It feels like they're a bridge to something. But also this phase in your life, another phase of life transition, need to find common ground and bridge the gap. This phase in your life is literally the bridge from before to then in the near future. Under that is dreams, vivid dreaming, dream messages, reaching for your dreams. Your dreams are calling you, and the power of imagination. So keep a dream journal, but also this is about some kind of influence or opportunity entering your life to help bridge the gap of something. I don't really think that answered anything when it's all said and done. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that at all. I think I'm going to pull from a tarot deck. I just got to figure out which one. Which one? The Ascending Life Oracle is this. So let's do... Oh, I think that one's going to be too racy for YouTube, actually. So... Let me just do this Cosmic Visions. Hopefully that one's not too racy. Okay, so what exactly is it about this message that wasn't previously known but can be known now? What's the significance of it? What does any of this have to do with anything? Please and thank you, Spirit. Information about why we're even here getting or receiving this message. What is the point of all of this? The change, the shift, that we've been feeling, the collective shift. Ace of Swords, new thoughts, words, and ideas, new perspectives and new truths is what I'm hearing. New truths. New ways of seeing something, new ways of thinking about something. And the deep thinking is going on in the emotional space. So that feels like you've been analyzing your emotional attachments. You've been analyzing the emotional, I think, mess that comes with that sometimes. The addictions and dependencies and the shadow aspect of those. Accepting those parts of yourself. And but accepting your... I also feel like it is a level of detaching from certain long-held beliefs. Detaching from maybe specific narratives. And I don't think these narratives were... The word that's coming to mind is supplemental. I think they were detrimental. They were not supplemental. So like rewriting those narratives. What crosses that is Ten of Wands. The responsibility of something. I'm almost hearing is not on you. because that was part of the last message also. And there is a connection here, even though they are very separate and specific messages. Again, so there's some kind of connection to something, but on this end, it feels like it's like there's also a disconnection. There's a disconnection because this feels like it's something all its own. Another Ace of Cups. Again, with the emotional cycles and the mental cycles and the way they're connected even. Just, it's like rewriting the whole script in all the spaces. Like there's one more corner to clean out. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. There's a lot of new beginnings here, a lot of new opportunities. Passing influence is the Hanged Man. It's like you had to remember what the hell all this was about, what it's all for. But Five of Wands is on your mind, so it feels like you've been fighting with yourself. You've really been fighting to break certain cycles in your life, certain patterns. And I think at certain times it feels like you thought maybe you were on the wrong track or on the wrong path. And maybe you're not even sure that you're still not. But you're not. You're not on the, you're not on the wrong path or the wrong track. You're actually where you're supposed to be. But there is something here. You're fighting the burnout, fighting the truth of something, even fighting the truth of something, fighting because it feels like whatever this is, it zaps your energy. So again, it could very well be related to your work or your job or how you procure money. So something connected to that. But it very much feels like stepping into new spaces, but that also requires letting go of old security blankets. That should basically be the title of the video if I can remember. Stepping into new spaces requires letting go of old security blankets. Stepping into new spaces, trial and error, experimenting, and Two of Swords, making a decision about something. This is, again, trusting your intuition. Very significant, trusting your intuition. Trusting the messages you're receiving. I feel like you're receiving the messages early, or you're receiving like premonitions of messages, if that makes sense for you. But there is a choice, and on some level you've felt this choice coming. Okay, so the way you see the situation, Mother of Swords. Yeah, she needs to have a sticky note put on her. Mother of Swords is Queen of Swords. Okay. Let's just put this little dress on her. Queen of Swords. There's something here, because that's interesting, because she's got the sword in her hand, and that's like the sword that showed up at the very beginning. It's finding empowerment in the mess is kind of what I'm hearing here with how those are connecting for me. Finding empowerment in the mess. Finding stability. Oh, wait, there was another one that turned over. Four of Cups. Unexpected solutions or miracles. I feel like other people probably always wonder how you figure things out the way you do. But somehow you always figure it out. And you do receive a lot of divine guidance as well. And I think it's something about the miracles in your life, the way you're open to the miracles, open to the unexpected. Also, it's this feeling of other people thinking you're lucky, but baby, you are blessed. The emotions of the situation is Son of Pentacles. So that is the Knight of Pentacles. That's literally putting in the emotional work. Again, there's some aspect of analyzing your emotional attachments, maybe even avoiding a specific wound or emotional wound, or maybe that's whatever this block is. That's whatever this obstacle is or what it's connected to. But there's also something long-term here. So I feel like you've been doing a lot of long-term work in the in the subconscious spaces. The final outcome is Seven of Pentacles, reaping the benefits of your hard work and effort, reaping the rewards. Putting down roots also, celebrating reaching goals. And then on the bottom is Three of Pentacles. Interesting, creative work done for money. So stepping out of your comfort zone when it comes to how you generate income. Working with other people, other artists, even if that's significant for you. And again, there could be an incoming masculine energy that is going to propel your energy into new arenas, new spaces in your life. So I think that's going to be interesting. I'm going to split both of these decks and see what we get. So we got Between Worlds and Judgment. How beautiful. Torn between two paths, space between the old and the new, trying to balance your two lives in transition. That's so interesting because I was trying to this came on the heels of another reading, but this reading is all of its own. So it's like connection, but no connection, not really. Torn between two selves. Comparing something that doesn't exist in this space that you're in. So comparing this reading to the last reading, it almost is like this reading doesn't exist in that space and that reading doesn't exist in this space. So there's a distinct disconnection between something, and I feel like that's exactly, yes, torn between two paths. Like one leg in both worlds is kind of how I'm seeing it. Trying to balance two lives in transition, yes. And then Judgment, literally higher calling, higher purpose. And there's that eye that came out right at the beginning on that sword. Something about perspective, something about the way you connect with your reflection, the way you connect with your shadow, the way you embody your purpose. There's something significant about that. I'm going to split it one more time. So we got reconciliation and Four of Wands. Wow. Restoration of former connections, apologies, forgiveness, trying again in a different way, and conversations. And then Four of Wands. Stability, security, sometimes referred to as the marriage card, which, again, there's a connection to the other reading, the does it exist or does it not exist? If a bear shits in the woods type of thing and no one's around to step in it, did he really do it? Like the great conundrum. Anyway, so there's a reconciliation, some kind of commitment, some kind of new perspective or new opportunity. There's definitely some kind of new opportunity. And also I'm like hearing exploring new spaces, exploring new versions of you. So getting out of your own way, getting out of your own head. And it's almost like freeing yourself from the cage. Freeing yourself from the cage that you've put yourself in. And on some levels, it's protected you, but it's time to fly free. Trust the flow, trust your intuition, and trust the truths that are being revealed. Um, and sometimes you just gotta revel in your own mess. I love you, and I do hope that helped. I hope it made sense.